Someone's coming out.
Intro.
Hey, yo!
15 fucking seconds.
Poorman podcast.
That's twice in 1 second what bull riders do, you bunch of pussies.
I can say,
I'm joking, that seems like the
sorry,
scariest thing
but
ever.
I'm not sorry. I could say, hey, what's the difference? It's Joyce Manor. It's the name of that band. Good band. Good band.
Good band, yeah.
Poorman's podcast.
Yeah, we doing it. We're
Host
here.
episode. I'm Pauly Ray.
I'm Jay Moody, and that's Allen Aguillard right there, and this is our third attempt at this fucking thing.
Hooray!
Well, actually, the first time we tried it, we all got a little too drunk, and then we had Ethan Cange at Barge here, and if you don't know about being too drunk, he will teach you.
But it's a sad lesson. A very sad life lesson.
Yeah.
We love him to death, but goddamn can that man drink.
The second episode, we got way, way too high.
Oh, Pauly brought in some fire-ass weed.
Hey.
I mean, it was a small amount, dude. It's not like you sell the stuff.
But yeah, we got way too high.
It was a good sativa, though.
Out.
Well, I enjoyed how high we are. It's just like we weren't forming any cognitive opinions about anything. We're
At
just
all.
like, yeah, dude, the universe is weird.
Yeah.
Oh, we're on a planet right now. My stomach hurts.
I walked to KD's.
Yeah, Jay Moody is a dick.
I'm not a dick. I'm just really irresponsible with somebody else's vehicle to drive at that point. I'm sorry.
And also a dick, because I remember quite clearly walking down the street and hearing you say, "Enjoy your walk home."
I did say that.
I got to the overpass, like on Ryan, to the 210 overpass, and one of my cab driver buddies saw me and picked me up. So it was terrible.
Yeah.
Walking home with pneumonia, and I felt like I was in the 1800s, and I was not.
In all
cut out
fairness,
to
the
make
pneumonia
it.
is your fault.
Right?
Somehow.
I went swimming in that ice lake with a chest cold.
Yeah, you ain't Wim Hof, buddy. You need to chill out. You work on your breathing methods. Get out of that comic book box, you cat.
She lives there.
Yeah, I'm past the point of trying to tell her what to do. I'm just like, all right, whatever. She knocks shit over, knocks mics over. She don't care. She's a dick.
It's an earlier recording night, too. Usually we're here at like, what, 11,
If not
11:30,
midnight.
yeah, if not later.
Far
A little
intoxicated.
shat face.
A lot shat-faced.
Sometimes we're
most of the
shit
time.
house, man. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But this thing is, we've gotten pretty good at conversing. Not you, Alan.
No.
Gotten pretty good at
Not
conversing
all.
while shit house. Just like, I've done this thing blackout and then listened to him and be like, I'm pretty good.
I'm ready to do that radio show, man, for KBYS, yeah. That's
Who's
what I
that
was-
for?
Huh?
What was that? I don't.
Paws to Cat.
Oh, Paws and Colton Trixon.
Trixon,
That's
yeah.
right.
I had fun with those dudes, man. Colton.
Yeah.
Paws was just like, he just seems like he was soaking it in. It was fun.
Yeah, that's what I was talking to some of our mutual friends, me and Casey's, and they said that even on the radio, he doesn't have much to say. He just enjoys being there.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's cool. I mean, that's an awesome approach.
Like, everybody goes about their own way, man.
That's always fun. Anytime we've had like two guests at once, at least the other one that's really quiet comes up to one of us at some point going, I want to do it again where I talk more.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, like, you know, if you're on here and you want to talk more, just come on here by yourself, man.
Yeah.
Because we'll fucking bombard you with conversational topics.
Yeah.
We'll be relentless about it. I'm like, so, dude, you ever watch Squidbillies? Tell us about it. Woo!
Wild as hell.
Yeah. Daddy. The granny on there, man, it's my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Mountain folk will survive.
Yeah. Mountain folk will find a way.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah, Mountain folk will find a way, dude. That's the animation in that one little segment.
It's quality. Every time I watch that, like, I've
Fuck
watched
yeah.
it a couple times. I've shown a couple of people.
What segment are we talking about?
It's a Squidbillies thing where they do kind of like their own spin on Country Boy Will Survive.
And
It's
also
called
Predators.
Yeah, he's fighting predator drones just like Arnold fought the Predator with traps and like covered himself in mud.
He slits a Predator drone's throat.
Yeah, but the animation, like, because their animations are like a certain kind of style for the most of that series. Which, if you don't know what Squidbillies is, and you don't watch it, watch that show. It's fucking violently brilliant. And how it's kind of has that Dumb and Dumber effect that we were talking about, Alan, where it's a movie that's so stupid on purpose, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, I think my favorite part about that show is the fact that it's a cartoon. I mean,
Well, it's also completely satire.
Yeah,
but they're making fun of hillbillies.
But they take this. They take this like ridiculous amount of damage. They've all died multiple times, even just in one episode, and they just recycle and come back and all this different stuff. But the humor in it it seems so dumb, but it's so smart.
Yeah, it's very
in and of itself, and that show cracks me up for that. Just because there's not a lot of adult cartoons where they keep coming back. There's like Super Jail.
The animation on Super Jail kills it.
Super Jail is for when you're on acid.
Yeah,
that's
it's just got like
Never get into Super Jail.
I mean, to me, I can't enjoy the animation in it. It's the same thing for me though with like Dragon Ball Z. I can't enjoy the animation. I think the animation is so shit compared to like what anime can be.
Well, the problem with Dragon Ball Z and serialized anime, I'm about to nerd out for a second, is that you have a budget, so you can only spend so much money to animate, and you have to like save your budget for episodes that are important, like important fight scenes. So the rest of it, like you're on a shit budget, so you're skipping cells.
You stop making excuses for half-assing something, right?
No, it's not. I'm not making excuses. That's just why it happens.
Because I guarantee you, like the Samurai Champloo didn't have the budget that Dragon Ball Z did, but it's
Samurai Champloo had a huge budget.
Did it?
Yeah.
Samurai
they spent
Champloo,
most of that on their music.
Yeah. But look at this the animation for Samurai Champloo.
No, I guarantee you their budget was less than Dragon Ball Z because the popularity of Dragon Ball Z.
At the same time, a lot of Dragon
that
came out in the early 2000s was created in early 2000s. Dragon Ball Z was created in like 1995.
Yeah, but if you look at if you want to look at like. If we want to get into this thing, like Vampire Hunter D, the second one, and Ninja Scroll, both, I realize they're movies, but they both came out well before Dragon Ball Z. And the animation...
the sequel to Champloo did not.
Spectacular. No, I'm talking about Vampire Hunter D and Ninja Scroll. They're both movies.
Yeah.
But their animation in like 91, 92, in that area, it blows Dragon Ball Z out of the water. But there's also people that do enjoy that more cartoonish style. That's why I'm not knocking
Yes, you are.
Well, I'm knocking it because I don't appreciate the animation.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's subjective.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things. Like there's some diehard Dragon Ball Z fans out there more than any other anime that there is. I mean, Full Metal Alchemist probably gets close. Those series. Obviously, the most popular anime of all time is Pokemon.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nothing can even fuck with it. As far as not so much the series, but the aftermath, the merchandise, the apps,
like show
Pokemon Go.
It's just itself as an entire network, or
they've created something like what, 1 billion Pokemon.
It's up to like 800 and something now, I think.
Well, no, like the variations thereof. It's not 1 billion. It's like hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, but
like whenever they
if we're talking straight,
when they evolve.
If we're talking straight anime shows, I think Dragon Ball is probably
original Dragon Ball is worldwide probably the most well known and popular series of all time. Just because it was the first series to ever be aired in the United States that had demons and demonic figures in it.
Yeah.
It was in the fact
that
it was
before Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, Dragon Ball, the original, where Kid Goku, Son Goku, I guess he was. If you're a real anime,
if you're a dick,
homo, yeah. Ooh, I'm sorry, I said that. I take it back. Bleep that.
No, we're not believing that, you anime fags.
But like,
Goku for the 2020 Olympics, Goku is the mascot.
Well, it's because it's what takes place in Japan, right?
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
I'm not watching that shit.
Only if it's Kid Goku, and only if he flies in on a real
this is the reason
Nimbus.
This is the reason why I'm not watching it, is because it's the Olympics.
Goku has nothing to do with it.
And it didn't help at all. But I could give a fuck less about the Olympics, man. The amount of money that goes in the Olympics that countries spend on it, you could have done to your infrastructure education, all kind of stuff. They're like the one in Rio. They spent like $4 billion on that fucking thing.
There's a lot of like there's a shit ton of anime. I think that anime is a little bit overcrowded these days. But I think that one thing that I have trouble with, I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't be like, I would probably be more into it if there weren't so many storylines that matched up with Dragon Ball Z and what's it called? And this story of two samurais who can't beat each other.
Samurai Champloo.
Yeah, it's that same.
Yeah.
But that's historical for Japan.
Yeah, well, because that was in feudal Japan.
Well, during feudal Japan, there's stories of two samurais who couldn't beat each other to the point where they almost killed each other. Yeah. Well, but their styles were so conflicting and so exact.
The yin and yang, yeah. They were such experts at what they did, but they had conflicting styles. It's like you see it in fighting. Yeah. Like a guy that's like UFC, MMA. You see guys that have great wrestling, but then there are strikers that have worked on anti-wrestling.
Yeah.
And those dudes always kind of clash, and it usually goes down to a draw or it gets really close. But that's that same story. That's,
but also that was
equating styles.
Yeah.
Also, when Samurai Champloo came out, that was also a tired story then. But Samurai Champloo took a unique take on it.
Oh yeah, they modernized it.
Modern this hip hop.
Yeah, it's definitely hip hop, and it's got a lot of jazz hip hop to it.
Yeah,
too.
But that's like what I'm getting at is that story as cool and interesting as it is,
it's cliche
very
and played
tired.
out.
I mean, my favorite anime that follows that story is called Shigarui Murder Frenzy or something like that. I've seen like the first 5 episodes and Netflix was like, this is fucked up. We got to take this off of here. And it's almost like it's historically accurate, almost to a T to that real story. It's very political, and it's all about Edo era feudal Japan, and it being such a like shit show with gangs and rival samurai clans and everything like that. But yeah, it's a more accurate take on how that shit actually went down. There's not magic. Nobody's fucking turning into a dog and running around or whatever the fuck. It's real fucking. It's
the spirit of your brother doesn't haunt a suit of armor.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one of my favorite anime movies. Is you've seen the show Rurouni Kenshin? Mm-hmm. They did a series of movies that were like the origin story of Batosai the Manslayer.
Okay.
It was a movie called Trust and Betrayal. It was his origin story. They took all the humor out of it, up to the violence, made it far more like
graphic
and brutal.
That's what I always wanted to see for Rurouni Kenshin because
I will show you. I have Trust and Betrayal in that DVD. At some point, I want to show you. I want to show you as well because you would love the animation.
Yeah, that's me. Like, dude, I've been drawing my whole life,
and that's
like I'm not. If you're gonna half-ass the art, like the animation in it, I'm not gonna be interested in it unless that's the point. Like Squidbillies doesn't have the best animation, but it's on purpose.
Yeah.
Like, same with South Park.
Yeah, 12-ounce mouse.
12-ounce mouse. Any of the.
Have you seen One Punch Man?
No, but I know of it.
Well, the point of One Punch Man, it's a satire of modern, action anime. Mm-hmm. Where literally the hero can defeat anybody in one punch. That's his purpose.
Yeah, well, isn't it live action though? It's a real
no.
Because there's a live action with the One Punch Man.
Probably
where like punches through torsos and has guts on his face.
Yeah, that was.
And they punches a hole in that prison wall and stuff like that. Sometimes don't get me wrong, as far as the historical culture and the modern culture of Japan, it's a beautiful place. But whenever they go overboard and get like crazy with shit, it's like to the point where you're like, this came out of your brain, dude. You're not okay. There's something wrong going on in there. Like they just punched that guy's asshole out his face.
Like I was me and you were talking about Gantz the other day. I told you about some of the later shit that author did.
Yeah. Well, dude, that's just for me. Like Blood Sea.
Yeah.
Bloodlust Vampire or whatever.
I love Bloodlust Vampire.
Watch the follow-up with her daughter. It's called Blood Sea, and it is one of the most... Sometimes it's hard to watch. It's so violent.
The first one, that was what watching through that even
monsters,
now.
Grabs his chick and pulls her apart by her legs.
Yeah.
And she's, screaming. You hear, crunches and pops, and, her guts fall out. and then like smashing people on the ground and stuff, and you hear like it's very visceral. It's hard to watch sometimes because I don't like gory violence.
Yeah.
Unless it's like super realistic, like in a war movie. I'm like, oh shit, that's probably how it goes.
Yeah.
And when we just like elaborate on it and kind of make it this thing where it's that on purpose.
Yeah.
Sometimes for me it's hard to watch because I'm just like, a person thought of this. This is like I couldn't think of this if I tried.
Well, moving more towards live action with that, have you seen The Green Room with Patrick Stewart?
No, I've heard.
It's one of my. It's probably
heard great things.
My favorite movie right now.
The same people did Green Room did Lobster, right?
No.
Same production company?
No. Maybe.
I think it's the same production company, if I'm not mistaken.
I may be the same distributor, but not the same.
Yeah.
But not the
it's
same.
Not the same
company.
director or producer, but like the same
people paid for it.
Film company.
Yeah.
The same studio, quote unquote.
Put the A64?
Yeah.
Or A24 or whatever. A64 is a weed club in Colorado Springs. If you haven't been there and you're in Colorado Springs and you're listening.
Plankton right now.
But back to the stuff that I was talking about that was better than that.
Yeah, sorry. Got distracted.
The Green Room is about a band who end up like impromptu playing a show at a skinhead compound. And the best part of the movie is they open up their set with Nazi Punks Fuck Off by the Dead Kennedys. And then after the song's over, the lead singer leans forward to the mic and he's like, "Thank you, that was a cover." And I was just like, yeah, fuck Dude, Nazis.
Man, I cannot remember this name of this place in Beaumont that we used to play at. I mean, remember 2 significant like interactions with crowd there. One time we were playing, there was a fucking Banditos convention there.
Yeah.
So there's like 80 to 100 bikers. Like, some of these are 1%ers. Like, there's
some dangerous bandits, yeah.
And we're in there playing like, just rock and metal. And this dude comes up, and he's probably the biggest dude there. And he's like, hey. And he threw a 20 down on the stage. He's like, play something evil. And we're like, oh. We just kind of look at our singers. I said, what do we know is evil? And it's like, so we played Sweet Leaf by Sabbath. And instead of doing the solo in Sweet Leaf, we did the End of Domination by Pantera, where it just goes in that chugging riff. And he loved it, but then, like, because our singer's aunt owned the place, so they would book us there all the time and pay us, which was, like, if you're a musician if you're not, like, in a cover band or a ska band or something, if you're just, like, a rock band, you're out there putting out original content, it's really fucking hard to get for sure paid. Sometimes they'll give you the door, or they'll give you half the door. Yeah. So I don't think you fill the place up, but you get paid in advance. It was rare, so we always played those shows because she'd give us like $500.
Yeah.
I mean, after gas, you're still looking at like $75 each.
Yeah.
And we were in there one time, and they were doing like some bike run, kind of like a pub crawl, like a poker run, it's like a pub crawl, but they just bikers go from bar to bar and drink, and then drive around in the daytime very irresponsibly. Yeah. And we were in there, man, and we were playing, and this guy, this old motherfucker, comes to the stage, and he's like, hey, y'all know any country music? Because that's the only music God ever wrote. Which, I mean, look, if you're, I get it. You're religious, it's comforting, it's cool and stuff like that. But if you want to walk up to some people doing something original and putting effort into something and say some shit like that, fuck you. Yeah. Fuck you forever. So instead of playing any country, we played Killing the Name Of by Rage Against the Machine. Just a shell like that. As soon as it got to the fuck you, I won't do what you tell me, he left.
I don't think he understood the point of the song.
No, I also don't think he understands what the point of an original band is. Like, we're not... Everything you heard that was in drop C with EMG pickups in the guitar, compression, and there was triplets and palm mutes and stuff. What part of that suggested that we were going to be like, we're going to play Dinosaur by Hank Williams, where he clearly is homophobic? Yeah. Yeah, because God wrote that song, guy.
God did write that song. Please stop staring at me while I'm trying to fix this little thing.
I'm not. I'm staring at it. Paul is having some issues with his pop filter. Wind guard, whatever you want to call it. You might have to go down a little lower on it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to put it directly on the mic.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, it should have been already on the mic. Who changed it?
I don't know.
My mom came in and changed it.
Actually, Mia changed it because that mic was like halfway off the table earlier.
Mia, what did I tell you about fucking with my microphone? Only fuck with J's.
Shouldn't listen to you. Shouldn't listen to me.
Shouldn't listen to nobody. She's a 1%er.
Yeah. So fucking cute, though.
Alright, so I hope that wasn't just a whole bunch of fucking shitty sound while I'm playing with this microphone.
No, it looks about it. You're
not picking up at all?
You're good,
Yeah, you're good. You're just...
If we have to switch over to the pause and switch mics, we can. We good?
Yeah, I think we're good. I'm just not
Goddamn,
gonna fuck with
Pauly,
it anymore.
You should be like a tech for the Who. You figure that out fast.
You should be like a tech for my butthole.
Killmaster's dead, so I'm not gonna ever be a tech.
Is that all you cared about, was being a tech for Lemmy?
That's right. I just want to touch those.
It's
Rickenbackers. I just want to touch his Rickenbackers, man. Those beautiful basses. Do you know they have 2 inputs? They have one for regular sound. The other one's called Rico sound. I don't know what the fuck it does. It sounds cool.
You'd have been a terrible tech if you didn't know what the one thing
I
that was
tune your
special
guitar.
about his
I can
special
tune your
bass.
guitar. I can do your intonation. I can adjust your truss rod. I just don't know what that one input does.
Yeah.
And I'm not paying fucking $3,000 to find out. They're beautiful basses, though. They're like, they have this real old school vibe. Like Paul McCartney played some throughout his career, like early on and stuff. If you've ever seen Lemmy Kilmister with a bass in his hand, you've seen a Rickenbacker. They're beautiful guitars. And they're very simple in their setup. They're not like, dude, they get some bass guitars now, or just guitars in general. They're getting crazy. Like, I get that, does it jump, bro? Alright, cool. Like, you don't need 8 fucking strings. You don't need 9 strings. You don't need 10 strings. You're just being a dick now. If you want to do that, get into like those big war guitars where you tap with both hands and it sounds like fucking a hippie fucked elevator music, and do that.
Yeah, fuck some elevator music.
I know. With your drop lowy, fuck you. You were just making these faces like I'm ignorant to this entire conversation.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I know who Lemmy is.
Fucking A right. Lemmy is 2 moles.
That's the extent of my knowledge as well.
Yeah. Anyways, I mean, Motorhead, he was Jimi Hendrix, one of Jimi Hendrix roadies in Tex for a while. And he started Motorhead. And
then he just started getting loved like a lizard.
well, dude, like whenever he partied hard all the way until he died. We're talking about a dude in his 70s.
Yeah.
Still banging it out, still doing like long ass tours. If you see like these older bands like Metallica, they're on tour right now, which I would love to go fucking see. That's a bucket list thing. I don't care how you feel about them, but you look at their early stuff and listen to this new album and their early stuff. Metallica changed most music.
Yeah. No, and I like Metallica to an extent. And like you said, like their old stuff and their newest, their like most recent
not
releases.
Saint Anger.
Saint Anger is dude.
Well, I mean, it has moments of where it shines, but for the most part, you can't be this great rock and metal band that like revolutionized clean, crisp sound inside of your genre and then be like, oh, we're going to go back to sound like we played in a guitar. Well, the fuck would you do that?
Yeah.
You still play those songs and have that refined, great sound, and you wouldn't have had you wouldn't have caught any slack for that.
Right.
But then they did that, and like, it's just like you have overtones on the drums and stuff. It's not that. It's not this is probably their worst album. But their newer stuff, I would just want to go see them, because they do like a 3-hour set. They're Metallica. They have the catalog.
Yeah.
And then you're also going to be, you're not going to be like at a club or a place like the Lake Charles Civic Center. You're going to be like in a fucking sold out arena.
Well, that's
with
like
40,000 other people.
Yeah, but that's like
down.
Arctic Monkeys early stuff I listened to a lot, and then AM, a lot of people loved that album. A lot of people, it was just the black album with the heartbeat monitor thing on it, and it had AM in the center. And that was like, Do I Want to Know, and all their really big radio songs now. Mm-hmm. And I liked it enough, but it didn't feel as much like Arctic Monkeys. And then they came out with an album after that, which a lot of people haven't even heard most of the shit from. It's called Suck It and See. And the lyrical content in that entire album went right back to where they were when they were first starting, and when they were still like this angsty, British rock and roll band. Yeah. They were all 17, 18 years old and still crying about high school shit. But it moved over well into them being an adult, and I think it took AM kind of being kind of like their more popular album, they put them on the radio. I mean, you'd hear Fluorescent Adolescent from, that whatever the fuck that album was, every once in a while.
Well, there's also like in that same scene, like Ski Patrol.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still good. They still put out good stuff, but I don't think they ever figured it out like Arctic Monkeys did.
Yeah, well, Arctic Monkeys, I can't tell because I've watched a lot of interviews with Alex Turner, their lead singer, and he sounds like a moron, honestly. He sounds like an idiot. You can't understand through his accent what he has to say, and when you do, it's like him just saying he doesn't have any idea what that means. But his lyrical content and the fact that he's one of the most famous and probably one of the most talented lyricists in England today.
Also, that's been my experience with playing music and stuff like that. Most good guys that can sing and they write deep, good lyrics and stuff like that.
That's about the only talent they have.
But no, it's just like outside of that, they're so fucking in their head.
Yeah.
That you just can't. They seem like idiots, but they're just like so lost in the thought of whatever it is they're having at the moment that they can't even engage you.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, I get it to a degree. That's kind of how you came up with these lyrics and how you're so devoted to it and stuff. But also at the same time, quit being a fucking dick.
Yeah.
Have a conversation with people.
That's like the Amy Winehouse thing, man. Amy Winehouse is a fantastic musician and a fantastic writer. But you would look at her...
Dude, that song, Valerie? Was that the name of it?
Yeah.
That's a thug-ass song.
Dude, all of her music is fucking amazing.
Just that one, like, I wasn't really familiar with her catalog. I knew who she was. And I listened to a lot of Chet Faker radio.
Yeah.
And then also, I don't know why it plays on here a lot, but it plays on Brown Bird, which is like this kind of folk, kind of like Western European. I mean, they're Americans, but they had that vibe. It was a lot of like stand-up bass, violin, and there's a singer and his wife. He died of leukemia, which is unfortunate. But they play a little bit of Amy Winehouse and more mellow shit, or like more bluesy, like
and that's where she really sticks out is in the blues.
They have that documentary about her, man. That's a fucking sad story.
Yeah, I haven't watched it, but I know that
she was trying to get clean, and just like no one around her was supporting that.
Well, of course,
management, nothing. Because I mean, it's like kind of like that Scott Weiland vibe.
Yeah,
and Scott Weiland is, as far as like you look at Stone Temple Pilots, their first 4 albums, when he got heroin up to his fucking gills.
Now, but
he's a phenomenal frontman, great lyricist, knows what he's doing. But then as soon as he gets clean, it's kind of like the people are like, "This isn't as good."
But I don't know, because I've always seen.
What are you? Did I say let Pauly talk?
What are you doing? Well, I was still
We're
in the
having a
middle of a
conversation
point.
over here, Alan. Alan, what are you doing?
You just.
Now
I didn't fucking train wreck this. You did. No, you're relegating.
Something that I struggle with Stone Temple Pilots and bands in that almost grunge rock and like 90s rock and roll era is that it Stone Temple Pilots specifically, it sounded so corporate to me. It sounded like fucking iTunes wrote all of their music for them, and so I could never be on board with that. But I do know what you're getting at. Like,
well,
especially
you listen to that first album,
right? But especially with Amy Winehouse, it was like. She never had a chance to write music clean. They never gave her that option. Yeah. They were constantly, I think that
you got a good thing going on. They just kept doing it. Kept her in that environment where everything's being offered to her like that. And then she's like, because you hear in interviews talking about getting clean, and then like a month later she's fucking dead.
Yeah,
that's because she had shit support around her.
Yeah,
and those people that did that, they're leeches, man. They're fucking parasites. Like that chick would be alive and well right now. I mean, or it's just at least alive. If the people around her hadn't been trying to gut her for what they wanted from her, for what they thought their worth was,
right,
and supporting her, and that's the shitty part about music. You're not going to see that in the comedy world because comedians are entirely too honest.
Yeah,
like if you're trying to get help and one of your friends like, "Nah, you're doing a good thing," you'd be like, "Get the fuck out of my house, man."
Yeah,
you're not helping. You would immediately go like, because that's honesty in it. Like the music industry is so convoluted with yes men.
And a lot of people don't want to put her in the group with the rest of the 27s, but she died at 27 years old.
Yeah.
And she was a very tortured...
Isn't Jim Morrison 27?
Jim Morrison, I got the list right here. Jim Morrison, Kurt, Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, There's quite a
Jimi Hendrix
few
looks
more.
so much fucking older than 27.
Yeah. Janis Joplin looked like she was a 40-year-old hippie mom.
Well, she was born looking like a 40-year-old hippie mom.
That's true. Yeah.
She looked like Tina Belcher when she was born. Now, Jimmy looked like he was 42, man. Whenever he dies, like, damn, son, you did some living.
Yeah.
Let's see. I've got it pulled up right now. We'll name all the people who died.
Let's do this
27s. Identified members. I don't know who those two people are, or that person, or that person, or that person. I don't know any of these people. I don't know why they gave us this list the way they did. But yeah, Amy Winehouse falls in that list, and I remember having a conversation not too long ago about it, and people getting furious with me. Like, it was like an actual debate whether or not she deserved to be on that list, but she did, because it wasn't drugs that killed her, it was the fucking industry that killed her.
Yeah.
Just like, the rest of these people on this list. Somebody told me there was a Beatle in the 27s, but I don't think that there was.
The original drummer.
George Harrison?
No. Ringo Starr is their drummer, the guy before that.
Oh, right.
And if I'm not mistaken, he drowned. I'm pretty sure he drowned. But they did have a drummer before that. I think he may have quit and they replaced him with Ringo Starr, and then he drowned afterwards. If I'm not mistaken. I could be completely wrong about this. I'm going to be like a hybrid stories. I'm just mixing the two together. And it could be becoming a real hydra. We'll just keep cutting off the heads, and there's more there.
So...
But there's also, if you think about
Pete
just...
Best?
Yeah. How did he die?
Let's see here. He died... Well, first of all, he's still alive.
Oh.
He's 75 years old.
Did any member of the original Beatles die? Or any member of the Beatles ever die?
I see.
They have died. No, I'm not talking about the ones that we know died.
Hold up. Original Beatles drowning. Brian Jones.
Who was? What did he play? He played drums?
He was original leader of the Rolling Stones.
Ah, okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, I did mix up my stories. I knew there was some fucker that drowned. R.I.P. fucker.
But, yeah, when it comes to it...
And he was also 27.
See,
yeah, the 27 list is a lot bigger than you would expect.
I'm 30, I ain't got nothing to worry about.
I turned 27 this year.
You dead, bitch.
And that was what I was getting at with the Amy Winehouse and that whole 27s list is that if there's any musician that earned their right to be on that list,
It's her.
It's absolutely her because of
she's extreme talent. This is people don't know. Extreme talent.
Yeah.
Listen, I had no idea when I heard that song Valerie the first time that was her.
Yeah.
And so I was like, who the I was like, I literally stopped what I was doing to listen to the song because it's that fucking good.
And that's why I can't get into artists like Adele or those come and goes that have that same kind of voice and tone about them.
I don't know if exactly Adele's a come and go because she does have her talents. But
she does have her talents, but I can't hear her voice and not equate it to Amy Winehouse and the presence that Amy Winehouse had within the music industry. Her vocal work is gorgeous. It's hypnotizing, and so. But
also, I mean, I don't want to be like kind of like the stick in the mud and stuff like that. But like, she's a phenomenal talent, but completely irresponsible with her own life. And that's how a lot of people are. We're all kind of irresponsible to a degree like that. So it's like this thing's like if you're going to be the most talented person in the room. Why don't you fucking know that? Because there's somebody like in the back egging shit on.
But that's the thing is, I don't think that she was really ever given the responsibility of her own life. It was always, it was always
relegated.
Yeah, she didn't. It was always divvied out to everyone else to the point where she probably didn't even know what her own life was towards the end.
Well, so that's like becoming a child star as an adult.
Yeah.
Where it's like you don't fucking know what's going on. There's somebody
you don't
that
know how
handles
the real world
everything.
Works. Yeah.
And that's what the beautiful thing about like independent musicians and comedians and stuff like you handle your own shit. You have a management team and you have an agent and stuff, but everything's up to you. Grab me one too, Alan, please. We're gonna drink these beers and we do comedy, so we have a few minutes left here.
Yeah, we're going to do stand up later tonight, and I just got the message from Keys that there's only 5 people signed up for stand up, so we kind of got to be in a hurry. But You know what? Hell yeah! This episode, just
yeah,
saying.
I've enjoyed it. We're not done.
We're not done. No, but I'm just saying.
Probably another 10 minutes in this. Tell Keys to fucking go start at 9:30. We're gonna be divas. Be like, hey man, work around our schedule.
Yeah, it's our turn. Tonight's ours.
If not, we'll blast you on a podcast, Keelan.
Keys, you suck.
Keelan.
You have no friends.
You hate it when I call you Keelan.
Keelan.
Also, your weed's mid-grade at best.
Yeah, it's definitely not the weed that I don't sell.
Exactly. No, I was thinking of somebody else that has... Oh, dude, have you watched that Howard Stern thing where Lady Gaga does the Zeppelin?
No.
Because apparently before she was like Lady Gaga and pursued that, she was in like a 2-piece Led Zeppelin cover band.
Strange.
She played keyboard and a guy drummed. I think there might have been guitars too. She fucking kills it, son. Because I've heard, you hear like Born This Way and what was it, Poker Face and all that stuff. And she's like a pop star and stuff like that. But when you hear her do Robert Plant, I was like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Right.
That's also like the chick from Heart. That's why Heart got popular, because they could do Zeppelin covers, because most dudes didn't have that range that had Robert Plant.
Yeah.
But the chick from Heart, is she a Wilson? Not Greta Wilson, her mom.
I have no idea.
She's a bigger lady. That didn't have anything to do with anything.
Rita Wilson?
Maybe. But she could hit Zeppelin. That's how they really kind of got a niche into the industry, is because she could do that. And they had Barracuda and Magic Man and all that stuff. But hearing Lady Gaga do Zeppelin, Robert Plant,
and Nancy Wilson. There's 2 Wilsons.
Yeah, I believe they're sisters. One played guitar, one sang.
Exactly.
In Heart.
Should have looked that up before I made a weird guess. Look up who Rita Wilson is.
But also Heart's, I feel like they're kind of unappreciated bands, because they have the hits like Barracuda and stuff like that. But they're a phenomenal band.
Yeah,
that's the same thing with like when we're talking about Amy Winehouse. That same thing. Sometimes there's these powerful women leads that get nowhere, and you know why I think this is a theory I have.
Rita Wilson is Tom Hanks' wife.
Oh, well, there we go.
Pass the check, Hank.
Hanks.
Yeah.
You just call Tom
Hanks you very much. I was talking about this at I was listening to I was at work, and this lady that works in the kitchen was playing pop country.
Ugh.
Pop country in general. There's these behaviorisms that they like promote and act like it's normal, like showing up at your ex's house drunk, like yelling at stuff. Like, this is disgusting behavior,
right,
for anybody. Mm-hmm. But then you look at like the female pop country singers, like all their songs about how they can do whatever the fuck they want, but a guy better kiss each turd as it comes out her ass. Mm-hmm. It's such a fucking disgusting genre.
Well,
I'm gonna be honest. No, it's disgusting. There's some good musicians there, and there's sometimes they have good hits, but for the most part, when they do that stuff, it's these behaviors and stuff like that they're promoting are fucking gross, dude.
The only pop country singer I can is Eric Church.
No, I can't listen to any of it because it gave me the idea that fucking Nashville is dead. Yeah. And I love Nashville and I love country music, but I don't love this thing where fucking iTunes and Google and all these different giant companies are writing.
Fuck you, big and rich.
A bunch of like 9 fucking
putting out our podcast for free.
Yeah, you got 9 fucking dudes in suits writing your music for you.
No, iTunes and Google.
Well, iTunes and Google, but we're not like...
They're not writing scripts out for us to read, you know. But I think that country music for a while there was really the first like genre in total of music to almost be completely bought out by corporations.
We got so diluted, man.
What's that called? Gentrification.
Yeah.
It's the fucking first. It's the first real thing to almost be completely gentrified. I
think rap got gentrified first.
I don't think so, because I think that there are still a lot of there's a lot of rap out there that is good and is still hitting the radio. But with country music, it's like you don't hear that on the radio. You don't hear the White Buffalo or any other fucking good country music on the radio.
That song that has John Jameson, there's a few songs that because a few years ago I was pretty deep into getting blackout drunk every day.
Right.
I didn't give a fuck. And that song, John Jameson, just listening to the lyrics and relating to it, that's one of the things that pulled me out of that. I still get drunk. and still have a good time. But I don't get blackout every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, I have much more control of my life, and that song is one of the things. Also, that song, "The Woods," because at the time I lived in Vinton, I'm deep out in the woods, and you do kind of remove yourself from society. And then I spent so long out there, like kind of getting sober, not getting like completely sober, but I would, instead of going to a bar and getting blackout drunk, I would go home, have a couple beers, smoke some weed, watch YouTube videos about fucking Neil deGrasse Tyson and all this stuff, and just kind of finding myself there. And I related that song, "The Woods," also. You know, like you come back into Lake Charles after spending a couple months in the woods in Vinton, you know, smoking weed and trying to expand your consciousness, flex your consciousness, if you will.
Bear Gritty.
Fuck yeah. And then you come back and see these people that are all like, there's so many people in Lake Charles and in just in general that they're so hipster and so trendy that they're trying to be so different that they're all the fucking same.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I noticed from that. And you're not going to get that from pop country. You're not going to have some breakthrough thought. You're not going to go like, oh shit, or relate to it. You're going to a little bit, ride your horse into town instead of a Silverado. Shut the fuck up. What are you talking about? These aren't real things. Yeah. And that's the problem I have with pop country and a lot of other genres, especially pop in general.
Anything like, pop, yeah.
These aren't real fucking... People don't actually do these things. It's like watching... Like, I know this... Like, I've been seeing this chick off and on and stuff like that, and she watches these shows like ER and One Tree Hill and stuff.
What's her name? First and last.
Your mom.
You've seen her?
No.
Oh my god. Oh.
No one's ever seen Bigfoot.
Got excited for a second. Like, what?
No one's ever seen Bigfoot, and no one's ever seen my mom, so that's weird.
Yeah, coincidence? I don't know.
I think not.
But you go to saying like she watches ER and like One Tree Hill and these shows that are built around drama. It creates drama. Like that's what the characters do to each other. Yeah. They lie. And then those people watch those shows and they get so engaged in it that they think that's what real life is. Right. Like oh, you know, like I'm the girl and stuff like that. That's not how people should interact. It should be genuine. It should be real. It's
not how people interact.
Not at all. It's like completely contrived. Yeah. And people that get into that shit, like ER and you know anything, Melrose Place from the fucking 90s, whatever it is, and fucking soap operas, dude. It's like this controlled or created drama, and then people somehow want that in their life, and they kind of project it. And the same thing with pop country, same thing with pop and just shit music, or like rap music with the whole idea of being like a thug. Yeah. Like, fuck, why?
First of all, like a lot of, especially modern rap, the way they talk about being thug, that's not how that shit works at all anymore.
No, you got a record deal. That's why you have a mansion.
Coming from the thugginest thug I've ever met, Allen Aguillard.
No, like just...
He's actually kind of authority on hip-hop, sir. How dare you?
Not really.
Not
but
at
no,
all.
That's why... no, but that's why, like, Kendrick Lamar, like, Mad City, that album is one of my favorite albums. It's an anthology album talking about a progression of a young kid into like being forced into this gang society.
Yeah, because that's all that was there.
That was all that was there.
And it was also almost became like an expected thing. Yeah, like a rite of passage in some weird shit way. But Kendrick Lamar, these guys like Sturgill Simpson, you're seeing like this real like music becoming awash with intellectualism. Mm-hmm. And that's the best thing that happened to it, because that's what happened in the 60s and 70s. Don't get me wrong, they weren't exactly making these big philosophical points, but they weren't doing gospel.
But they were making big philosophical points for the time.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. They weren't like, right now you would hear these songs and think like, yeah, this is basic knowledge and stuff like that, but people didn't put those in songs then. They talked about Jesus and church, and I mean, Robert Johnson in the 30s is probably the first guy to really start talking about hellhounds sinning and stuff like that. And he also supposedly sold his soul, and he died 10 years later. But because that's how long you get. But then you see like the Beatles and the Stones, they start talking about sex. They start talking about things that everybody did, but they're just so like taboo. Mm-hmm. And then the taboo idea of it just took over, and it got to the point where it became like a norm to be these extreme things, or to be these like weird dramatic things.
Well, that's what you're getting at is basically the concept of like white hat cowboys switching to black hats over time in westerns, right? Like, yeah. Where it was cool to be, you know, fucking Gene Autry, the singing cowboy, but then after a while you moved towards spaghetti western Clint Eastwood and his black hat and his being okay with shooting everybody and not just bringing people into jail.
Yeah.
And that concept of the bad boy rolled into sort of like the music industry where people at one point, Johnny Cash sang about God before he started singing about shooting people.
Well, but he was singing about God and it never got him anywhere.
Yeah.
Exactly.
As soon as he started singing about stuff that he wrote, that was his experiences, and his original concepts, that's when he went somewhere, like Folsom Prison. Yeah. I mean,
they have a video going around right now of Johnny Cash impersonating Elvis. And it's some of the funniest shit I've ever seen because they must have both been like early 30s, if not 30 years old during this. I'm gonna share it to the page.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just because it's fucking awesome.
Alan, we should have this out Tuesday, huh?
Definitely, I'm off tomorrow.
Okay, Tuesday. Hopefully this will be out this Tuesday, March something. I don't fucking know the date.
Thursday night, 9:00. Thursday Sloppy night. Downtown.
Yeah. Also, every Sunday, Luna Live.
Yeah.
Sunday Funnies. Show up. It's free. You don't have to pay shit.
Show up to laugh. Don't just show up to have a beer.
Yeah.
Come and have some fun.
Because no other bar in town is open. Show up to enjoy some stand-up. Because it's a good fucking
football
time.
Season. We're going to tell you some jokes. We also have April 1st at
Luna Live.
Luna Live. We're having an April Fool's show. So we're going to have improv, stand-up. Then our friend Bear Gritty's going to close it out. Then also that following weekend we have CypherCon. If you like to nerd out like we do, and you like to do your cosplay and stuff, come check us out. We'll have a booth. We'll be there Friday night doing stand-up. Was Friday night stand-up? Friday night doing stand-up. Saturday night we're going to have a trivia with crowd participation. And then Sunday we're going to do a live podcast there. We don't have a guest for that yet, but we'll figure it the fuck out. Also, St. Patrick's Day in March, Bear Gritty will be at my place. Hopefully in a green Adidas jumpsuit. I think we influenced him in that direction. Maybe not. What else we got going on, Alan?
We'll be in Tennessee recording a podcast
on Earth Day.
On Earth Day.
In the woods with Bear Gritty again.
That's going to be wild, son.
We have such a boner for this guy.
I know. Well, we have a boner for each other.
I don't give a
fuck. It's a boner called love.
That's right.
Okay.
Look, man, I like what he's doing.
Yeah, I do too.
When we did his album release, we talked about it. He was on here when we did the album release. I may or may not have eaten 3 grams of mushrooms.
You went to see his album release.
Yeah, and I had a good time. I had a perpetual smile. That grin just plastered on my face. Like I was trying to touch
whenever I made you tear your work pants.
Yeah, I enjoyed that too. I enjoyed everything about that night. I enjoyed hanging out with you and Max Sprigg. Well, he's actually somebody I would like to have on here. He's an interesting guy.
Yeah.
Ashley Babylon, he's done a lot of traveling, done a lot of playing music. He's a cool guy. Rolls a clean fucking doobie. We have that. We have anything else, Al? Oh, that's it. This week we will have Dr. Z in here. Well, hopefully next Sunday. And we'll release that next week. And then we'll also have a man that I met last night at Sloppy Downtown. He's very articulate, intellectual veteran who had a very alternative perspective on his time in the military than I've heard from most soldiers. It wasn't that whole like America idea. It was very respectful, very intellectual. His name's Zach Painter. Hopefully he'll be here next Sunday. Other than that, you fucks have a great week. We're getting out of here.
Short one. This is the shortest one yet.
That's right.
Yeah, and you're still not over there
stop
pressing
recording.
the button, so
Jesus Christ.